Edward brought Rocky to lift Henry back onto the track. And he also brought Sir Topham Hatt. Gordon and Thomas were already there. A new crane had just arrived on the island. Gordon was right. Edward's freight cars were right next to the new crane. "My name's Rocky," the crane smiled at Edward. "I'm Edward," puffed Edward. "Can I come with you?" asked Rocky. "I could help you with those heavy pipes." "I don't need your help," sniffed Edward. "Newfangled nonsense." And he puffed off quickly, before the pipes had been properly tied down. Edward steamed into the docks. "Rocky, we need your help," he whistled. "It's an emergency." "I'm ready and waiting, Edward," whistled Rocky happily. So Edward buffered up to Rocky, and together they left for the junction. "Go get him, Edward!" Edward pulled Rocky up hills and down valleys. Everyone cheered and waved at them. Edward felt very proud to be pulling the newest arrival on Sodor. Edward soon pulled up with Rocky. "I can fix this," Rocky smiled. And with his mighty crane arm, Rocky lifted Gordon back onto the track. Gordon was surprised. "Thank you, Rocky," he huffed. "Good work." Then Rocky lifted all the pipes off the rails. The job was done in no time. Gordon and Edward were very impressed. "I was silly to think you were newfangled nonsense," wheezed Edward to Rocky. "You might be new, but you're also really useful. Welcome to our island." And everyone tooted and cheered for Rocky. Took Skarloey to the repairers. "I'll wait and take you back," tooted Thomas. "Thank you."
Rocky, he's a crane.
Next morning, Thomas knew what he was going to do. Later, Rocky and the workmen arrived and lifted Hector back onto the tracks. Thomas wanted to... Henry puffed up the line. He saw pipes across the track. They were blocking his way. "I thought you were collecting presents," chuffed Molly. "You're supposed to be at the airport," snorted James. "Don't worry," called Rocky. "I'll have the line cleared in no time." Did the pipes from the tracks. Then he chuffed on to find Edward and his lucky trucks. Sir Topham Hatt came to Tidmouth's sheds. "Yes, sir," tooted Thomas. So, Thomas puffed quickly away to the warehouse. It was the day of the Sodor show. Sir Topham Hatt's brand new car was being unloaded. It was in Lady Hatt's favorite color, hat blue. Sir Topham Hatt had chosen Thomas to take the car from the docks to the Sodor show. Thomas was so proud. "I must be careful, and you must wait," said Rocky. Rocky was slowly lowering the car onto a flat. Thomas pumped his pistons, ready to race. He didn't wait for the dockmen to connect the couplings. He steamed off, pushing Sir Topham Hatt's brand new hat blue car. "Wait, Thomas!" called Rocky. Gordon collected Rocky and steamed back as fast as he could. Thomas was very happy to see Gordon chuff up with Rocky. This time, Thomas waited patiently as Rocky lifted Sir Topham Hatt's car out of the haystack. Thomas wanted to thank his friend Gordon. Gordon knew that delivering the brand new Hat Blue car was the most important job on the island.
At last, Thomas and Stanley puffed into Great Waterton. Henry, Rocky, Edward, they tooted and whistled when they saw Thomas and Stanley, and soon the sound of engines' whistles went...
And his wheels clickety-clacked without a cheer or a clap along the way. First, Rosie collected Rocky. Then she pulled him as quickly as she could. I'm so sorry, Emily. I only wanted to help you. Rocky will clear the line. I will collect the other cars. Then we can deliver the carnival special together. Rocky had just loaded the seats back on the flatbed. Rocky quickly lifted the metal out of the bushes. On the other side of the metal was a picture of a steam tram. It looked just like Toby. Toby, you have found the sign for the old Great Waterton tram shed. Next to it. Duck puffed quickly forward. The water tower crashed to the ground. I rescued you. No, you didn't. Rocky was putting the water tower on my flatbed, and now it's smashed. Thomas hadn't seen Rocky. Rocky had been hidden behind the trees. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to help you. I have to collect the firefighter. He's a hero. Soon the track was clear, and Gordon steamed away. He had to warn Stanley. Soon Rocky arrived. He cleared the logs in no time. Stanley was delighted. The Sodor River Bridge was being rebuilt. Finally, Thomas saw the Sodor River Bridge ahead. The builders were waiting. Together. Fizzling fireboxes, what can I do? With a clang and a crash, Thomas clanked off the rails. Workmen attached chains to Stanley and Thomas. Slowly, Thomas was upset. How did I lose the blocks? He huffed to himself. Thomas remembered the bump on the bridge. Thomas knew what he had to do. Stanley, will you help me, please? Of course, Thomas. That's a very good idea. We must take Rocky with us. He can load the blocks onto your flatbed. Then you can bring them back to finish the bridge. Soon, Stanley was chuffing along. He shunted Thomas behind him. And Murdoch shunted Rocky. They reached the bottom of the steep hill. Soon, Rocky had lifted the blocks onto Stanley's flatbed, and they all puffed on. Thomas and Stanley found the rest of the special blocks at the sharp bend, and Rocky set to work. My name's Rocky.